It's a cookie cake. Anyways, and we're gonna sing happy birthday to him.
Should be like 2 or 3 minutes.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, guys. I didn't realize we were going to be tuning in right back into this. It's one of our staff members' birthday today, and collectively got the whole room together to sing happy birthday to him. But as you can see on the screen there, we were unfortunately forced to restart our stream due to a power outage.
Sorry, next time you order some food, you spit. Why are you talking shit to the cook? What's wrong with you? You ever learn a life lesson?
We are going to get cards back in the air here momentarily, and we will be ready to rock and roll.
A little bit extra protein. Do what? Sorry.
All right, y'all gonna lose me if we don't get this going.
You ready?
I'm stuck. I need to go get in the game somewhere.
All right, guys. We're gonna
Go.
Preston added on 2K. He's got 3,000.
Take that off.
Wait, we're back? Yeah, we're back.
Back?
Traveling?
Jimmy!
He's smoking. Oh, no, he's there. Get on the button.
Is anybody on the wait list for the tournament for the cash in?
Probably. There was 2 tables worth of left.
That list's been on there for 2 weeks. There's about 3 of us here that were on the list.
Something else.
You were on the list. I was on the list.
4 calls. You're
I was
5,
on the
Preston.
list. You might have gotten on it recently.
CD.
All right, here we go, back in action.
I won't be here this Friday, most likely.
Aces for free money, first hand back.
They doing a lot of aces on Friday.
Hold them, man. Hold them.
I'd hold them with you before you play.
4 bets.
True. That's true.
Going to see a flop of king, queen, tray with 2 spades here.
I'm surprised he played queen twice.
Queen high flush draw
No,
for Jim, as well as a set of 3s. 2 pair for Brownie, 2 pair for
He must have been
Frank
the big blind.
with an 8 high flush draw. And free money does have that blocker. And there is that spade completing a flush for 2 players, Jim and Frank. Alejandro is also in this hand. Unfortunately, we don't have his cards. He's going to check out of the hand anyways. Frank does bet $100 on his flush that he made on the turn here. As we can see, it is no good as Jim has the queen high. Jim raises it to $485.
The stream's gonna miss me this Friday, Dexter. I might not be here.
Brandon, come in next week.
Oh, I'm done coming. Yeah, I'm done.
Makes the call. River comes a 9. Nothing changes. Jim's flush is still going to be best. And that's a $1,200 pot going Jim's way on the first hand back here.
Thanks, Johnny.
What do y'all play on Monday? Oh, what do y'all?
Start off with 1-3, then we go to 1.
It's crazy. I saw some videos. Bunch of 10K pots. Plays here every day now, huh?
Eight today's 150. 9 and 1 fold. 150. Yeah. 800. Oh,
Alejandro putting in a 3-bet too. $150 with 4 Broadway cards, 3 spades in his hand. Queen 10 10 on the flop here. Wrap for Alejandro, 3 10s for Jim,
465.
and an 8 high flush draw for Catfish.
Here for you.
Alejandro. 465.
Yeah, he don't need to be reset. You gotta come back up. Over there is those boxes that have the
Big Jim. Six fold.
Hey, you don't play tournaments? Oh man, you should. Get the hell, he's good.
Seven call.
Play tournaments, bro. You're good, man. No,
Six fold.
play hand.
6 ways to a flop here. We're going to see ace 9 tree with 2 clubs. 40% equity for Alejandro's hand here, and all he has is a straight draw and a flush draw. Jim did flop top 2 pair.
But this summer you won one too, no? I know, but this summer nothing.
Alejandro's going to make the call with the wheel / flush draw. 175 it was.
I know you did good this summer too.
Jim and Alejandro now head up here. A 4 hitting the turn, giving Alejandro the wheel. And Jim still betting hard at this hand. 350 it appears.
Great. 1500.
And Alejandro makes it 1,500 to go. Coming in with the check raise here.
Oh, what? English. I'm not calling you with 4 hours.
Where you have more fun, Miami or Vegas?
Ready, camera. Be careful where you are.
Exactly. Yeah, true story.
Send me a text.
True story. I'll text you, man.
Vegas is good for that.
Not if you play poker.
I'm not gonna party with my day. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have done that.
I'm in Miami for 5 more days to play. I stay in Hard Rock. Play one. I got text coming that we out of shuffle.
7 ways to a flop here. We're going to see a flop of ace, queen, queen with 2 spades. Frank flopping 3 queens as well as Brownie.
9-bet 70. Four call. Flat fold. The tote fold. 7 fold.
All right, guys, this is Dexter joining on the booth. We're going to give Josh a break, let him eat some food here. And it looks like we went to this flop of queen, queen, ace with Brownie and Frank both flopping a queen. Frank had Brownie out kicked, but Brownie's going to make a boat on the river here and bet for value. And Frank announces a race for all in. He figures he's going to call 175 with 235 behind. He might as well just ship it in. And it's going to be seeing the bad news that Brownie did get there on the river with the queen jack. Going to take down this pot of $680 here. And it looks like that's going to be a night for our buddy Frank. Hate to see him go, but can't lose your whole bankroll in one game, guys. It's never a good idea.
Don't want either one of them.
I know the reason.
I know. Brains that long.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You know, okay.
Right.
If you're gonna bet him, big game. He was good, or he was super cool, and he didn't play, chill out. Tie, high for dollars,
I told him he doesn't need to be.
he jumped to the next step.
It's exactly the same way.
Can I play the same?
And free money in there with the deuce, deuce, 4-5, 5 high diamonds.
He looked like he had
Looks like Jim's going to bump it up with the king 10, 6, 7. 10 high suit. I don't mind this play because if you raise here to 30, it's much less likely somebody's going to make it 60 or 70 behind you. So not a terrible play. And CD here with queen, queen, 7, 8, 3 hearts.
Have another beer, please.
With probably what's is the best hand. Not anymore. Free money going to flop bottom set and a mirror. Clutch City flops an open ender. And CD, the gut shot to the nuts. Gutty to the nutty, as we say here. And binks it right off. Going to be giving free money a straight flush draw to go with his set and mirror. And now decides to bet it. Now that CD has turned the nuts.
Hey, are you a dad already? Are you a dad already? No. Soon? No, Friday.
And CD's going to bump it up here to a pot size bet of 615.
6. 15.
615?
51.
It was some.
And I say free money can get away here. I don't know if he can. He's got a flush draw and a set. He is killing most of his outs with the 4 and the 5 in his hand, but it's still a hard hand to fold with a gut shot straight flush draw. He's got a gut shot to go with it, just in case CD's out there with a 6 high straight himself, which is very unlikely.
They're going to put in 50 more than
And looks like CD only have $50 behind, so they're going to put in the extra 50 heads up now and run it twice. For those of you who don't know what that is, that means they're going to put 2 rivers on the board. The best hand from the first run out getting half the pot, and the best hand from the second run out getting half the pot. So let's see if free money can improve.
First river, we're going
Does have the equity advantage, actually. And the Queen of Diamonds is going to give him the best hand on the first run out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going for a second run out. Let's see if 7-8 can hold, and it does not. The Ace of Diamonds is going to give free money the best hand twice, so he's going to take down this whole pot of $1,700 with a 5-high flush. And on that note, if anybody wants to come join this debauchery, this action here at the DogHouse Poker Club in Cypress, Texas, we are located just off 290 right by Bucky's on Munich Road. These games go like this here daily, this kind of action. So there's always an open seat for you guys in one of our cash games.
Oh, okay. What's time? How much you behind, bro?
Got a new face on the table here.
Okay, so 21
Brett.
plus,
I don't know what he is chewing on, but oh, look like it's a
Brad,
necklace. Something.
Thank you,
else.
table 2.
Brett.
Brett, 2 T's.
Brett with 2 teeth.
What's going on, Brett?
23, 43. 23, 43.
What's going on, Brett? We're using dollar kit.
Fine, forward, yes. Yes. 1 call, 2 folds.
2 5 or 5 5?
2 5. 3 call.
It's 5-5.
Can we change it? I'll ask him this. They don't know if they change it to 5 5.
They're already 2 weeks behind.
7 raised to 60.
That's a good call.
Raj, yo.
So that's good. We can do. 3 call.
Looked a whole bunch of here before I bought those there. I think that was so they're best.
Top players.
1,000 behind.
Going 5 ways to a flop here. CD with the King, Queen, Jack 10, probably the best hand.
Big check.
Flops top pair. Nobody here with a 5.
Down check.
Bring the owner.
Catfish with the best flush draw here. Brett also has an 8-high flush draw. And the second jack on the turn is going to give CD King Jack, 3 jacks with the King high kicker, which is most likely good in his eyes.
Here. It's cool. I like it.
Nobody else with much of anything, so I think when he bets here, he's not going to get any action.
Yeah, 7 to 315.
Well, I
He's
do
going to
like
bet
those.
pot $315. As you can see on our screen, the pot is $312, but we round up here at the Doghouse to make our dealers' lives a lot easier.
Want to take a break or something?
So we do not count the white chips.
Look at the tournaments, like big tournaments.
Yes, we're gonna make practice between the slide 5.
30,000?
So, yeah. 155.
1 day.
There's 3 1-days and then 1.
Can you fish off of that little bear?
Oh, yeah.
No one said anything?
Got that beer right there at the end.
Food and drinks are on me. Just want to remind you guys.
Ace, Queen, Queen 5, Queen high suit for JG here in the small
Especially
blind.
you, Roy.
2 call, 3.
Order whatever you want.
Roy,
Steak.
we're going to call behind with the King, Queen 10 deuce, King high diamonds.
They're like a hamburger.
hot dog.
JG did bump it up to 50.
Steaks on the house.
Catfish here not with a
Please
bad
don't.
hand himself. King Jack Jack 8 with
Yeah,
King
yeah,
High
better
suit
be
and come
careful.
along.
Hey, Polo.
Clutch City out there gambling with no suit in his hand. Jack 993. Was not expecting that from the boy Clutch.
I would rather
6
not.
ways is this $300 pot. And Jim is going to flop the nuts here.
Three bet 300.
Does bet the pot of $300.
Yeah.
Does have a redraw to a little bit higher straight.
Calling him a mirror.
4 or 5 would also give him an 8 high straight. So he's hoping somebody else has 4 or 5 with no redraw and just to get it in, looking for the free roll. Nobody had anything good enough to gamble with him, so he's going to take it down. And here you can see our chip counts. Jim and Brownie both sitting on over $5,000. Alejandro with 4,300. Free money with 2,700. So lots of money here on the table tonight. Mike, Milla, and Lilla, the game was froze, but now we are back. So let me know if you guys are having any troubles on the YouTube stream.
You're only 5. Yeah. Tell him, buddy. Good call.
Check.
Check, top check. 7 check. 8 check. 9 bet. 175. Five call.
Sorry guys, had a little audio problem. And you can see this 3-way pot. JG did take a stab on the flop with his nothingness and got floated by 2 overpairs. And now Alejandro making
Hey, bet
a
50.
fool on the river.
Hey, how's it going, sir? You ready? Come on in. I recognize you from TikTok, man. You're the guy that was dancing on the cruise, huh? Is that you? Yeah, I recognize you. What? You ain't seen the video? He was viral. Dude, he's viral. He's dancing on the cruise, man.
The workers started cheering.
I need to see this. I'll show you.
Crazy.
He went viral.
By the time I got home, that thing was shared over 100 times.
Hey, he wasn't even drunk. How many views did it get?
I don't know that number. My wife's alone at it.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Don't pull that ball.
Do you want to end
Here
this?
you go.
No.
4 call.
Oh,
5
yeah.
call.
So much.
Go, Brett. Change it to
Yeah, what's up?
You change. We change correctly, bro. 6 low. Yeah.
Sweetheart, can you bring me a
And Catfish here with the ace, king, queen, 5 with 3 clubs. We're gonna go. Looks like 8 ways to a limp pot here. Catfish with the best hand with the ace, king, queen, 5.
There we go. Check.
Check, check. I check.
Make sure of that.
Seven check.
No longer the best hand. JG flopping a flush draw. Brownie flopping top 2 pair.
How's the soccer game?
I'm sorry, an open-ended straight draw with a flush draw.
3 calls.
You doing any good? I had a cousin. His first soccer game, we were
7
kids.
calls.
Brownie does have
was
the
like
dry guy to go with his top 2 pair.
So you know what happens, bro. There's kids who do that, man.
She got to work for sportsmanship, which I thought was that's a good thing. So,
Yeah,
I don't have to teach her that part of it.
I had a cousin.
And
when we were
JG
kids,
turns the jack high flush.
during the
Brownie still has
soccer game,
top
he was
2
like
pair
taking
with the
grass,
dry
like,
guy.
I mean, it happens,
And
bro.
CD flopping, turning a straight. I'm sorry.
Her thing was she was afraid to run into it.
Play dirty.
And Brownie's going to use his dry guy to his advantage to bluff at this pot. And takes it down with the dry guy move. Good bet by Brownie taking down this $800 pot.
Would you say that's the most common bluff line taken in PLO?
I would say either that or when you can narrow your opponent's range down so narrowly to sets and top 2 pairs, and then your straight draw misses when you have a wrap but the flush comes in, you can take first stab there, or vice versa. You have a flush draw that misses and the wrap gets there. I would say either one of those 2 plays. But the dry guy is probably one of the most common bluffs in PLO for sure.
Just make sure you don't do it into a calling station.
Yeah, I would not do that if Indolfo or free money was your opponent. It's not advised.
I think it's number 5. I'm not sure. Excuse me. Can I get a Coke too? Yeah, thank you so much.
Travis on the to go.
Here we go, hand number 34 of the restart.
We're on stream, so you know.
Actually, we still have all the data from before we restarted, so this is hand number 34 of the night.
Brownie
Kings
here waking
for
up with
Brownie.
kings, single suited.
Hello. CD says never muck a duck.
Never muck a duck, especially 2 of them.
We got a 3-bet to 85 from Jim here.
With a mystery hand. Mystery hand of the night. You guys can play along from home if you're in Brownie shoes. What do you do? Looks like he elects to call.
He does have 1 suit. Diamonds he does have. I think it's definitely safe just to see a flop here. Analyze the situation post-flop. Now when 2 jacks come out here,
What time the stream over?
check it around to Jim, and he's going to check it back. I'm feeling pretty good if I have 2 kings here.
Or the last can we started 6.
Spade there. Nobody has spades unless Jim has a couple hidden under his mystery hand. King's still looking pretty good here.
Everything good? Yes, sir.
8 of diamonds on the river.
Pairs the board again. King's still looking pretty good.
Doesn't
Like,
change anything from what we can see.
I think only Jim can only have aces. It's the only thing King's can lose to. And now he does elect to come out and bet it, unless maybe he flopped quads.
He said pot.
He does
He
pot
bet
it at
350.
350. And now Brownie here with the decision with his Kings. Wow, didn't take much of a decision. Went ahead and throw it in the mug. I figure there are a lot better spots. There's no reason to bleed off $350 here.
I guess we'll never know what Jim had there. Maybe we can ask him after the game's over.
He probably wouldn't remember. These
Yeah,
guys play
probably
so
not.
many 4-card hands, it's really hard to get any information out of them.
Yep.
Five, five, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I remember my first time doing it.
You going straight there?
Oh, no, I got you.
Straddle's on.
10 button straddle.
Here we go.
See what we got going on here in this hand. Action is going to start off on Catfish with a terrible hand.
Yeah.
Just
Don't
return
love it.
those to sender.
Call those kind of hands are the Indolfo specials. 'Cause you got to be a specialist Indolfo to win with that.
CD coming in with King, Queen, 8, 7, 3 spades.
Alejandro bumping it up with the Ace 10, 5, 4, 3 clubs. Not a huge fan of this hand either.
I think if we were to look at the pre-flop raise percentages here, I think that we would see Alejandro is definitely highest on that.
And flop here, queens and eights for CD. Not much for Alejandro. Queens and eights also for JG.
7.
And just a pair of jacks for Jim. And then Brett has flopped the nuts, which is always nice. It's better to river the nuts, but
Yes,
flopping them's okay too.
definitely. When you river them, it's a sure thing. You have to. You don't have to fade anything else. Once you make your hand on the river, if you flop something, well, you got to fade a lot of things, especially in a PLO game. You gotta fade the board pairing, oftentimes. Got to fade the flush getting there. Whatever the case may be.
a higher straight getting there. Whenever the nuts change, it's always possible for your opponent to have what is changed into.
Absolutely.
And that is a safe card on the turn for Brett. Actually picks up a flush draw just in case him and JG have the same hand. He is now free rolling, which we can see that is not the case.
Yeah, JG just does have the two pair top and middle.
Yeah, top and bottom on the flop. Cannot continue. Nice little hand there for Brett, our newcomer on the stream.
Get a good ripple, please.
I think I just saw a little dealer bribery going on there.
Yep, we take bribes. It might not work, but we take bribes.
We accept them.
We
There's
do
no
accept them.
guarantee on the
Yeah, we can-
fulfillment of said bribes.
It's kind of like a politician. They take the bribe, but did your life change? Probably not. And I'm not sure if Josh told you guys earlier, but we did agree to change the game to 5-5 from 2-5. So now
Yeah,
the small
man.
blind is as well $5.
Dude,
So
they've been
not a huge difference, but
terrorizing,
is worth noting.
Colorado.
No more
Yeah,
white
yeah,
chips in
they have.
play.
Yep.
No Venezuela. Everybody.
Oh, Venezuela. Colorado, dude, they're terrorizing over there.
And Brownie is building quite the chip stack there in the
Saw a
9
video.
seat. Quite the collection of chips he's got going on.
It's a good problem to have.
Yes.
It's always better to have too many chips than not enough.
Just to get rid of the wires.
I put five there.
Nah, you
Gotcha.
can probably
Is there
hear-
such thing though? It's too many chips.
No, I don't believe that there is. I think the more chips you have, the happier you're going to be always.
I think that's usually how it works.
Yeah. I mean, whether you have a bunch of white chips or a bunch of black chips, I don't think.
A bunch of chips is a bunch of
Yeah,
chips.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some games here, huh?
I mean, I would definitely rather have a bunch of black chips than white chips, but
A bunch of chips is a bunch of chips.
a bunch of chips is a bunch of chips.
Mexican things too, huh?
Another mystery hand here. Free money.
Free money with the mystery
Yeah.
hand. Alejandro here. I like his hand. Not much of a flop, just a gutter and an overpair. Jim, though, top pair and open-ended. Some probably live overs.
on there. Right there.
Free money can have
Backdoor
3-4 here,
spades.
but unlikely.
Board pairs, giving Jim 3 of a kind now.
Now this is gonna be weird because what does free money do here now? The board pairs.
Checks.
Looks like he checks it, so maybe he did flop a straight.
Looks like
Jim is gonna
threw
get
out
a 6.
150.
I'm saying like gang graffiti.
Gonna be a feeler bet, trying to see where he's at, and does take it down. Wonder what free money had. Maybe he had some sort of straight draw himself. Maybe bottom 2 5s and deuces.
Yeah, it's hard to figure when it checks around on the flop.
I think he bet the flop. I think when it checks around on the turn is when it gets weird. Welcome into the chat, Summer. Thanks for joining in, supporting our live stream today, sweating up Miggy P. Or as we like to call him here at the Doghouse, the Tote, which stands for tightest of all time. It's like the goat, but the tote.
I heard him out there earlier today saying that somebody gave him a nickname MP3 for Miguel Pineda 300.
300 being 300 pounds.
Yes. Yeah. That was a nickname that he informed us that he had.
That was him. I even saw somebody in chat say shout out to MP3 earlier.
Oh, there we go.
So
it's like who else has that? Chris Paul, right? NBA player, CP3. That's his.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't think his stands for 300 pounds though.
No, definitely not.
Hit dice.
Playing craps.
Hit dice, he said. Yo.
He's going to be looking for something to complement his double suited hand here. Is Jack 8-6-4, diamonds and clubs.
Everybody has middling cards here, so I would imagine we'll see a big flop. And
open-ended he
Flush
flops.
does flop open-ender. Jim flops the only flush draw, looks like. Or no, JG has a flush draw too, but both of their flush draws are about as small as you can get them.
Action checks around to the king of diamonds on the turn. Brett now turning a top pair of kings.
Brownie's here with the best hand with ace-jack. Clutch City is drawing dead, apparently. Apparently, a jack would not.
He could chop the pot if his open-ended got there, because Brett also has the exact same open-ended.
That is true.
He does elect to fold the hand. Brett makes the call, however. Or, sorry, Brett made the bet, excuse me.
Good bet there. Sensing weakness. Nobody bet the flop. Checks around to him in position on the river. Go ahead and take a stab at it. You got to open it in case you get called. You have outs to a good hand. You do have a pair, so you maybe you can river some 2 pairs, some trips. That'll be good sometime. So.
And as you just saw there on the screen, we do have a couple of chip stacks over 5,000 now. Both Jim and Brownie both have over 5,000 in their stack. Brownie having more physical chips for sure. He's got a lot of red chips, a lot of green chips, a lot of black chips.
Just a lot of chips.
Just a lot of chips. He's not discriminating against any of the chips. He wants all of them.
So our players like JG with the reflective glasses, I wonder if they realize that sometimes players can see hints of their hand through their glasses. Like some of them, they're not really noticeable, but those are very, very reflective. Like I could clean my teeth in these glasses.
If we can even see on screen there when we were looking at Jim there in the 3-seat, his glasses are quite reflective as well.
I've already looked at it.
Not worth it.
I guess it's better than wearing a mask.
I want our people to take care of first.
I remember whenever the pandemic first happened and all the poker players were wearing hoodies and masks and glasses and face protection, and we're like, everybody's like, you guys aren't scared of COVID. You guys just don't want to give up live reads. We know better.
What's the infamous Christoph Vogel saying? The guy who wears like the turtle sweaters and covers every inch of his face all the time. He's a pro. Plays all the huge buy-ins.
Sunday, 10K free roll.
He'll tank for forever, and then but his entire face is covered. You can't get any live reads off of him ever.
And King's double suited here for Catfish, facing some inferior hands, and that's a good flop for him. Kings and jacks. Nobody has a jack here.
Are not watching
Drawing theoretically dead, basically 5% on both of them, so they got to hit runner to ever get anywhere. JG could turn a 7.
We need more
A 2-outer.
over here.
And Catfish are going to take it down with the Kings. And here we can see our winnings. Jim up 3,400, Brownie 1,600, and Alejandro up 1,200.
Quite the comeback for Alejandro, as we saw in like hand 5 or 6. He lost his whole stack to Jim.
That's Alejandro's staple, though. You know, he comes in, he plays like a donkey for the first few hours, gets stuck, and then he switches gears and runs it up on him almost every time.
Absolutely.
Anybody waiting for the live stream? I'm gonna get up, man. I'm worried. I'm done.
Hey, your one day said you lost 10K in your one game. One day.
That was last night.
Oh, that's right. You didn't let the donkey play, don't you?
Yeah, but it's back.
You should have seen the way the donkey was playing last night. He was running the plow. I should do something better.
Was winning all fucking day. $3 for that.
And here you can hear them talking about Alejandro was playing like a donkey last night. Heard that from CD's mouth himself. And I do believe I was here and I saw the way he was playing, and I'm not going to disagree with the statement.
I am not going to even form an opinion because I was not here.
And CD now with the aces. See, that's how poker works. You talk a little shit to somebody, and then you wake up with aces.
Yeah, he's got one suit as well. He does have the diamonds. A 9 and a 7.
Yeah,
little
good little
straight
connected cards.
Yeah.
Decent little hand. Free Money's going to be out there with the 2-5, single suited to the diamonds. He does not want to see diamonds, however. Diamonds would be disastrous for him.
A catastrophe. King, Queen, 5. A set and a mirror again for free money.
Against the same player.
Wow, this is seems like we've been here before.
And now with the pot size bet.
If you're CD here,
what do you do with aces?
what do you do with aces when your opponent donk pots into you?
I think you just have to fold.
Yeah,
Good fold.
just
It's too connective a board. He called a race pre-flop. He just always has
Shows it.
kings and queens and hands like
All
that.
of it.
Somewhere.
2 pairs. Even if he has like a wrap, you're still not in great shape with the aces.
Right.
Do something stupid like get you in trouble.
And you guys can hear Skinnerd in the background. We love to play some Skinnerd here at the Doghouse. So if you're a Skinnerd fan, come on down. Jam out to some good music. Get on some of this cash game action here at the Doghouse Poker Club. We have cash games going 7 days a week. We try to run them 24 hours. Sometimes they don't go overnight, but starting at 11 o'clock every day, there will be a cash game going here, and we will keep it going till at the very earliest 4 in the morning. So
Can confirm.
if you guys want to come down, participate, show your support, or just gamble a little bit, we are here off Munch Road at the Doghouse Poker Club in Cypress, Texas, right next door to the Buc-ee's.
Yeah, that is a very convenient location
It is nice.
for us consumers here at the Doghouse.
Another 5-way hot pot. See, that's the beauty about PLO. You almost never go heads up versus in Hold'em, you're almost always heads up. The difference between PLO and Hold'em is Hold'em's a game about representing and telling lies, and PLO is a game about making hands.
For the most part, yeah, I would say.
There's always room to make moves and run bluffs in PLO, but for the most part, you're just trying to make the best hand. And CD here flopping top 2 pair. And free money with the open ender. Actually, the wrap, and banks it right on the turn. Jack 8 making the straight. Clubs coming in. Nobody has 2 clubs. And now CD's going to fill up on the river and make the absolute nuts. See if he can get any value from free money here. Free money does have a hand to pay him off with.
How's the CD?
It does get paid off.
See, look on there when you're looking at the screen. So many times.
Oh yeah, baby.
Pocket Jack's gonna have
Oh really?
8 to 10
Me too,
times.
bro. Me too. Me too.
I
No,
had Jack
bro.
8 to 10 times.
Me too.
And CD does get paid off.
What can you look at? Let me try. I had him right down there.
What one?
Bet Jack fucking 8 to 10 times.
It's kind of like the Chiefs-Bengals game there with the amount of lead changes we had.
Yep.
CD flops best, free money turns best, CD turns Rivers best.
Yeah. Like I said, it's always better to river the nuts than flop them.
Absolutely.
But it was a club.
Employees only?
No, the 7 was a club. The turn was a club.
Yeah, I just saw the 3 clubs out there because I had like king, queen, and clubs.
That's what kept me from going crazy.
If it had been any other 7, you bet.
Yeah.
No.
You want the
I know you do, bro. I know you do. I know you do, man. They definitely don't shuffle. Have you ever seen that 2-1 shuffle?
It's all in your head,
Have
bro.
you ever seen that 2-1
It's all
shuffle?
in your head, man. Yeah, they shuffle.
Dude, they pretty nice.
There's somebody under there. There's a little elf under there telling you it's like give the nuts to seat 7.
I didn't think anybody knew that.
And free money in here with another mystery hand. Jim, ace, king, 8-4, ace high suit,
10K,
the
right?
diamond variety.
They were 7,000.
So he's going to bump it up.
They're like 26 new.
Breton does not have a bad looking hand here. That's definitely a much better hand if you're playing an 8 or better.
Yeah, for
High-low
sure.
game.
The ace deuces. Nice.
But it's not a bad hand.
Here it's above average. Just slightly, but it's above average.
Definitely playable.
That was our deck,
And
mate.
he is going to play it for $35. And here we got a few rundown hands. The 10-8-7-5 with 10 high hearts,
I thought that you had
catfish.
to like rent them or some shit.
Alejandro's in
They
there
used
with
to where
queen
you
10 9
couldn't buy 'em,
3.
period.
Yeah.
And
Now,
JG's coming along with
you
2.
can
Oh
actually
no, I'm
buy
sorry.
brand
He
new
folded. I thought he was in there. He did milk the ducks. 5 ways
Deuce
with
on
the
the flop.
mystery hand.
I had
Duck
a buddy
coming.
open a poker room and it's
Nope,
called
no
Club
duck.
No
Station.
duck. Brett gonna flop top here. Alejandro top 2. And doesn't look like anybody has clubs unless free money has them hidden under his mystery
They had
hand.
some shufflers, dude. Them motherfuckers sound like popcorn, bro.
Alejandro is gonna bet his top 2. $175 worth of betting.
Yeah, definitely want to protect your 2 pair there. Don't want to. There's a lot of really, really bad turn cards for 2 pair.
Yeah, any club and any card from a 9 to an ace just is awful for your hand. Which sounds like half the deck to me.
Yeah. Seems like Clutch City is getting a little bored. He hasn't had any hands to play in a while.
He's had a lot of hands to play. He's just decided not to play them.
Okay, fair. That's actually very accurate. He hasn't had any hands that he decided he should play.
Yeah, no aces, no play.
Yeah.
And, bro.
And there's we don't see any all-in blinds here like we did last
Right,
week.
don't you own one of the poker rooms or run one of the poker rooms at the college?
Yeah, can somebody bring Miggy some shots?
Oh, I'm
Any of our
confusing you
viewers want to buy Miggy a shot?
I'm
Talking
sorry.
about that Joker's place? I
One
never
of, the
been
guys,
there.
one of the guys that came in here thought it was you. Right? Who?
Have the same hair.
The other kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come
Oh,
on.
I was talking about mine.
You know who I'm talking about.
Brett waking up with kings here. Just call in. He does not have any suited cards. And it looks like CD is going to bump it up here to $50. Now Brett elects to pot it.
400.
We have a new bet here. Brett made it 400 to go with his 2 kings.
I think it's almost the same guy.
Oh. His name is, that name's strange.
CD's going to make the call here with the ace, queen, jack 5 double suited. Alejandro going to let his double suited cards go. Not enough to continue for 400. And Jim, last to act here, is going to close out the action with a call, it looks like. Well, not yet.
Do some little strange for a piece of change.
And Jim does make the call with 10-10-9-6, one suit. We're going to go 3 ways to a flop, 400 apiece. There's already 1,400 in the middle here. Queen, 8, deuce, all club. CD flops a jack high flush. And CD has moved all in.
Hey, look at the slab, actually. Look at that slab. Poking out.
Both players make the fold.
Last time I went there, was a little Cadillac out there parked.
And that is going to be a nice pot heading CD's way. He has been waiting for a hand like that to get his money in.
I don't know what he was doing. I guess he was so shocked he was pushing me a pot.
No, they're sucking. We're replacing the part, guys.
Anytime, car? Okay.
Yeah, Alejandro definitely kicking himself. He would have had flopped the nuts. It's difficult to continue, though, for $400 and a multi-way pot out of position with a pair of 4s and an ace.
They had to review the camera.
Queen down.
You ready? Okay, let's $30 blind. One round.
I'm ready to get out of here.
No, let's keep it exactly where it is.
Look, I made my little 250. That's enough to pay my phone bill.
Bring somebody over here that'll play some pot.
That's what I'm saying. Let me get out of here.
I don't know if we have anybody.
We're called
Corey's on the list. He's more action than me.
I will have a Bobby too.
Anyone's more action. I might have the lowest V pip. Sure, huh?
Let me check it out.
You and Tanner.
You are 82. 82% fold.
$40 4 ways. Here we are on the flop. King, queen, deuce, 2 hearts. Flush draw for Alejandro. Middle set for Catfish. Now the 7 of spades hits. Catfish has been awarded the check mark. If we go to showdown, he will win this pot. And now he's going to be betting 200, the amount of the pot. And everybody else follows Alejandro's suit and mucks their cards. And we're going to be on to a new hand.
Oh, I didn't see him leaning back. What are they playing there? Hold it. We can get Bobby over here.
Pretty big stack.
No, the person for the second one. No, the guy is
Close the flop.
amazing action. A crazy player. Super sick.
Game.
It's his game. When he was having a game.
Maybe one of his friends.
We don't do.
Daniel put it.
Put a straddle.
No, we forced you to put it.
No.
You put it?
Yeah. Here we go. Seven makes it 50.
CD is going to open us up here for $50. King, ace, deuce. Ace, deuce of diamonds.
He's coming after me with the piece of shit.
I forgot it's the live stream. Everybody can see I forgot it's the live stream. Everybody can see my card. Fuck that. Come on there.
And we've got just a couple of callers here.
Jack.
7 ways to a flop. And it's going to come ace, deuce, tray, 2 spades. Top and bottom for CD. 9 high flush draw for Alejandro. 10 high flush draw for Brett.
Got it.
355.
3,055.
Brett here does have the most equity with his flush draw. And Alejandro flopped the wheel.
Yes, you. Flip it. Oh my God, what a hand. Yeah, piece of shit hand. Wait a minute.
Piece of shit and hit it.
Guys,
Alejandro's going to take that one down.
No, I don't.
Got a donkey here.
Have a nice hand.
Hey guys, Monday Alejandro plays 136 here. Come and play with him. He lost 10,000 yesterday. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Just kidding, guys. Cut that off, please. Sorry, bro. My bad.
They follow me now. To see if I have more cash.
I don't have none. Hey, one more.
I brought him yesterday.
People watching now.
They're ringing now.
Did he play too? Oh, it's a good game. It's a good game.
They show my bluff.
He's a gambler, man.
Your bluff or your bluffs? One bluff or all the bluffs? Here we go. Call service.
What kind of service you need, bro? Full service? Full service, please. Eddie's on the way for you.
Service on 12, please. Thank you.
Jim raising it up here with the ace king at 9-7 single suit. And 3 players defend. We're off to the races here. 10-9-7 with 2 clubs. Brett is just going to flop the joint here. Jack 8 is the nuts.
That is 620.
Jim flops 2 pair and pots it for 620, and Brett moves all in. I don't know if he can bet quite that much, but it appears that he can. He does have, yes, he can go all in for about 2,000 roughly. And Jim now with a decision to make. He's got 2 pair, not even top 2 pair. He has no updates other than his 2 pair.
Oh, here, for the last beer. I forgot.
Did you want another one?
We see on screen here, he does have 22% equity, but only 1 out we can see. He could only hit a 9. And we can see here that there's only 1 left. Brett has 10-7, so if the board pairs with a 7,
Right? You can get any time, right?
Brett would have the better full house.
I did, bro. I need to stop. I'm an alcoholic.
1975 Brett has here. Just confirmed 1975. And now Jim lets it go. Quite the hand there for Brett. Flopping the nuts.
This guy's too good,
With
man.
top
Get
and
him out of
bottom.
here.
You have the straight hand two pair? Is that what I saw?
Fortunate for him that Jim came out with a pot-sized bet there.
This guy's too good. I forgot where I played with him. He's a good player.
Good. I like that.
I played with you in that tournament that one time. It was over here. I think it was at 100K.
Where you play?
TCH in here. I
Never see you here.
I come like 1, 2 a.m.
1 p.m. That's good.
I do remember.
I leave every day at 8 a.m.
Fucked up, he comes in. Sleeping.
He was waiting for me. He walked in after I worked out.
No, I got killed at TCH today.
Wait.
Sometimes when you lose a bunch of money, you just want to go up and stay.
Bro, what?
I'll fix it. I'll fix it.
Right. Oh, wait. Who's got 3 and 3?
Miss it.
I'll bring it back out.
Looks like the players mixed up their cards over there.
That's why I didn't even look.
No!
So
no!
we're going to get a replay of that
would've been
hand.
4 for me, and y'all only had 2. So
Start
somebody got-
over.
I think we dealt him a card early. Yeah, but I had 4. How do I have 4 and he has 2? He was dealing me a 4th.
Yeah, but he only had 2.
He only had 2 also, so. If he was the only one that had 2, yeah, I took it. But if they both had 2, something got messed up.
You took my 3rd. I might have took this. I don't care.
It was all
Yeah,
No, it's
something wasn't right.
I blame it on the dealer. I don't know. Dude, that's where all the gigs are at, man.
Talking about maybe.
No, Aurora. There's a certain place in Colorado. They got a bunch of Mexican gangs there.
Not Mexican, Venezuela.
No, but there's Mexicans there too.
Yeah, but Aurora's the one.
Tack on there. Every tagging on the wall.
King, queen, deuce, deuce for CD. He's going to start us off here. Make the call.
Yeah. I did see that, yeah.
Aces for Jim. Going to pop it up to 50.
They're right. Apartments. Damn, Ben.
A couple of hands we can't see. Looks like they didn't get their cards properly scanned.
I need to take care of one guy. He's got super aggressive. Please get him.
7 ways to a flop here. 350s in the middle. Queen, 6, 4, a rainbow on the flop. Top 2 pair for Catfish.
Please.
High V pit.
No.
Open-ended for JG.
Same guy?
Same guy, different color.
JG and Catfish almost have the same hand, except Catfish has that queen.
Woke up with one.
And looks like we're getting a pot-sized bet here from Catfish to 1,100 with open-ended and top 2 pair. Jim and now last act going to have to fold his aces. And there's a nice size pot here. JG is all in. He's a 3-1 dog. Oh, there we go. Now we're going to chop the pot unless the board pairs queen or 6 here. It does not. We are going to chop. Both players have the same straight. Second run. Okay, we did run it twice here.
5-7. You both have the straight on top. 6 on the bottom.
And it looks like Catfish is going to get 3/4 here.
Damn.
So 3/4 of this pot going to Catfish, 1/4 of it coming back to JG. They ran it twice, and they both have the same straight on the first run. And on the bottom board, the Queen 6 for 2 pair of Catfish held up, awarding him 3/4 of that pot. And there's a look at our chip counts. JG now at the bottom with just 510 after getting quartered.
Yeah. You've been stopped.
I go to strip club a lot. Wait, cut that off. Fuck. Why is gonna hear that, bro? She be in the chat, bro. You see her in the chat?
She's in there.
I love
Let me take.
I used to go to strip club, not anymore.
Okay.
Before we met, remember?
Yeah.
Hey, remember, tell her. Remember, I bet you.
Hey, bro. Chill, man.
Oh, you got it again.
He's Honduran, not Cuban. Dude, no, Hondurans. Honduran women, bro. Super aggressive.
Oh my gosh, it takes you. When's the last time you went to strip club?
Dude, don't be bluffing, bro.
No,
Nandro, I need to say her.
I think it's better for you guys to money video and go south to her and say, oh my God.
Hell, man.
You made me nervous. You like filming.
Hell. Yeah. Whatever you do.
Keep it calm.
50 to go, says Brownie with 2 queens, double suited. That is a pretty looking hand. JG here with 2 kings makes the call. Brett makes the call with a lot of closely connected cards. 5, 6, 8, 9. Clutch City is in there, as is CD. 6 ways to a flop. 300's in the middle. Off to the races we go. Deuce,
There it
deuce,
is.
9.
There it is.
Clutch City flopping best here. 3 deuces. 65% equity he has here. The majority of the other equity lies in the hand of our pre-flop raiser, Brownie, who initially raised with the 2 queens. Clutch City now turning a flush draw to go along with his 3 deuces. Looks like action has checked around to JG. And I think he's going to put he's putting a bet in here with his kings. Kings could be good there a lot of the time.
Yeah. Oh, that's, yeah, but I just kidding about it.
Snap with a finger. What's Alejandro? Working a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. You can get a haircut there, you can get food there, whatever. They got a court there? That's badass. What you have there, bro?
Queens for Clutch City, just making the call, if you can imagine that.
You want to bet the flop.
Off to the races, 8-8 deuce. 3/8 for Brett. $40 is the wager from Brett. And looks like that's going to get the job done. Everybody else is going to muck their cards.
He said he showed the blow.
Thank you.
There's a look at our chip counts here. You can also see him scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. And there we can see our VFib. Jim had 87, Alejandro 75. Few in the middle, and then we get down to the bottom. Clutch City, 28% VPIP. So if you don't understand what VPIP means, that's voluntarily put in pot. So that is the percentage of times that said player has voluntarily put money into the pots. So basically any time that is not a blind.
Down working. Because he was in Vegas for all these 2 months straight. Yeah, he's catching up on all his work. Graduated from A&M. 75.
Alejandro's going to bump it up here with 7-6-5 tray, 3 spades.
Yeah, man, I'm playing too tight. I'm mixing up.
Not the hand you would expect somebody to be raising pre-flop with. But here we are, and he's got 3 callers, 4 ways to a flop of ace, jack, deuce, rainbow.
2 hours left.
Gut shot for Bronny. Top pair, top kicker for Catfish. Top and bottom pair for Jim.
That's 175.
175 now from Catfish with top. Alejandro and Brownie both relinquish their hands. Action and out to Jim. He's going to put in a raise here with top and bottom pair. Looks like the raise is 575. And Catfish is going to relinquish his cards, and we're going to be on to the next hand as Jim takes down a $430 win.
So they're doing something there on Saturday.
No way.
So y'all built the place?
Yeah, we've had it. Like we had it for like 2 years. We're running the game. Wow. And it slowed down. 3 cards front of it. Our game stopped. Problem with running the game. Izzy was running the game there on 2 days a week. So they were only running 1 day. Costing more money to keep it open than we were making out of it. So we had somebody that wanted to buy it, but they didn't want to sell it, so we sold our part. Izzy and Frankie. You know Frankie?
No.
He has a club that's called the BFI. BFE, Rock Club. Oh, okay. It's just 2 owners now. Yeah, I'm good. They were really doing good before COVID hit. And all, a lot of the underground guys were going away.
You run with Lil Manny?
No, Little Manny's not there no more.
What's he doing now?
2 kings for Catfish. Just makes the call. Doesn't have much to go with him. 55 now from Alejandro with ace, jack, jack, tray. Ace, jack of diamonds. Good looking hand.
What's the guy who hangs out
Queen,
with
7, 6. 2 hearts now on this flop. Open-ended for JG as well as Jim. And 2 pair for JG here as well. And a full house on the river now for JG. And Jim checks it over. He did not make a straight, so he's not going to have anything to continue with. So he's going to fold before JG can even get a bet in. And JG's going to add about 400 to his stack there, as he makes the full house on the river. Four, 5, 6, 7 for Brett here in the big blind, facing an open from Jim. Jim made it 40 to go with the 9-8-6 tray. Call from Brett, call from Catfish.
What do you see?
Looks like Alejandro's taking it upon himself to rack up Clutch City's chips. You're not playing with him anyways. CD is going to make the call with 3 kings in his hand. Does have 1 suit.
What happened? What's wrong with you?
Hey.
You want to quit? You the action here. You leave the game, bro.
I'm on the last ring and I might be playing.
Queen 7-5 on this flop. 2 clubs. Not a bad flop if you're Brett here. Jim has open-ended, Jim has a wrap with clubs here. And Brett, the only other player with clubs here as well. Brett is open-ended with 2 pair and a 6-high club draw. Jim has a wrap. Anything from a 4 to a 9 would give him a straight here. He also has the 9-high club draw. All in and a call. Off to the races we go here. We are going to run it once. No club. A deuce. An ace now. Brett's 2 pair are going to hold up for all of it. 7s and 5s hold up there. Jim had a wrap and a flush draw. Could not make either of those happen. And Brett's 2 pair is going to win this pot of about $6,500. $6,500 pot. Biggest pot of the evening going to Brett with just 2 pair. Flop 2 pair open-ended, 2 pair held up on the river. Faded a lot of cards.
You could have queen. Maybe it's queen. I'm kidding.
50-50.
Yeah, it's 25.
Perfect. That's true.
I didn't see how it played out. You have one of them. What's that for?
45.
Can you bring me water?
Just verifying and counting chip stacks here. But that is about $6,500 going Brett's way. Welcome to the game, young man. And that is going to leave Jim with just a few hundred remaining behind now.
Good call. Big call.
I didn't get none of them.
Bottom of the night right there.
You heard the player say it there. The pot of the night definitely has been so far. We still have some time left, though. Wow. Almost $7,000 in that pot there. And you can see Jim is at the top of the VPIP leaderboard there. 88% of the time he is voluntarily putting some of his chips into the pot. Brett is not too far behind with 63%. As you can see by their hand selection. The previous hand there. Jim, I think, is probably a favorite on that flop equity-wise. Any club, 4 to a 9. Jack 8-3 on this flop here. Nothing too exciting. Do have nut flush draw versus second nut flush draw in here. And a Catfish is going to bet his flush draw. Free money's going to come along with the second best flush draw. Six of hearts on the turn now. Changes absolutely nothing in this hand. And an ace of hearts on the river, giving a single pair to Catfish, and that's going to be good. Free money really lost the minimum there, probably. Very lucky that a spade didn't come. And there is a look at our chip counts. Brett now up top with 6,500. Covers the table now.
Put in queen, queen, blank, blank. It's queen, queen.
No way. Yeah. It's a head.
Well, it's a game.
300.
Yeah, but no close.
Crazy game. I was there for
I'm
a couple
curious to
hours.
see.
Some of the same.
Me and this one guy got it in like.
Don't forget to take on
we
the bottom.
just bought him. We got it in. Like.
Are you straddling down there?
And he did it.
What's his name?
Thank you, Jordan.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thank you, Jordan.
It's mandatory trail anyways, right?
It's not mandatory, but everybody's doing it.
Well, let's make it mandatory.
Let's not put all the cool kids in there.
Let's make it
I would
mandatory.
Table captain Alejandro is telling him it is a fort straddle.
That's why I tell this guy. This guy is going to see people.
Gotta say, I have known Alejandro for many years now, and he has always been one of the funniest characters in the room at any given point. He can make a joke out of about just anything. $50 a piece, excuse me. 4 ways to a flop here. 200 in the middle. We're going to see ace, king, tray, rainbow. Top 2 for JG. We're going to get a peek at Britt's card here from the camera. Even though we already know what they are. $105 bet from JG with his top 2. And it doesn't look like Alejandro is going to continue, nor is Brownie with just 1 pair. And JG takes down another one. And there's a look at our pre-flop raise frequency. As I predicted earlier, Alejandro does lie at the top of that ranking. And if you guys notice, scrolling at the bottom of the screen are some statistics from the game as well. Those update after the completion of each hand. And that's what you see scrolling down there right now is the chip counts. Next up, you'll see the VPIP percentages. Like I said, these do update after the completion of each hand. So you can get some good live information here after each hand.
Whatever.
No shot. No chance.
That's all right. 2,000.
It's not a play. This is a crop protector.
I know.
And here is the cumulative winnings. Brett is also going to be at the top of that list as he has so far won 4,100. Brownie right behind him with 1,300. 1,100 for Alejandro. And now we are down to Clutch City, who's plus $150. And everybody else following that is in the hole. Kings for Clutch City, Queens for CD. And Alejandro 3 bets with King, Jack, 9, tray, 1 suit. We've got a call from Free Money, a call from Jim, and Brett folded his hand, all hearts in his hand. Not a very good thing.
I have my stats,
and a
man.
PLO.
I have my stats. They're sick, man. Think about it. I have the lowest beat. Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
want to see that. What's the VPIP looking like?
My beat is low.
8-6 tray,
Keep going there.
Right.
open-ended for Jim.
In a PLO game?
But think about this.
Second nut flush draw for Clutch City, as well as an overpair. He does have almost 60% of the equity in this hand.
They're all gambling. They're gonna pay you off anyway.
Just figure it out like that. He buy for 1,000. He get it for 3,000. I end up him. He got me 2,000.
And we're going to see
Oh, he just
a
blinded
bet
us.
here from
Yeah.
Jim with his open-ended backdoor spade draw.
Nobody can say you
Hey.
One more bit for the guy.
Cheers to that, man.
He's there for the cameras.
Alejandro's going to relinquish his cards. Action now to Free Money
Cheers to that.
with a wrap.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I saw this on Atlas.
Like right after I left TJ.
7 of them. Let's go.
I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna try to get in here.
A deuce of hearts. Now giving Jim a pair of deuces. The first pair of this hand for him. And it is actually in the lead presently as Free Money just has the wrap. And another 3 on the river.
Yeah, I have
A pair of deuces is going to be awarded the check mark here. A bet probably could have taken this down, but Free Money just checks.
Really, I'm retired, bro.
And deuce, this deuce is going to win at showdown here.
You retired from what?
The deuce is good at showdown for Jim. I think a bet from Free Money there definitely wins that pot.
Oh, yeah?
But it's not very often you get to see a single pair of deuces win in a PLO game. There will be no complaints from Jim there, though. He will take that pot.
Retired from what?
What do you want to do before? You get
I
retired.
just play PLO.
The PLO retired you?
No, I retired.
PLO.
PLO will definitely retire.
I don't know how many years I can live off of it, but I'm retired. I can play recreationally, bro, get drunk every day.
I'm out of retirement.
That's it, man.
I'm back. The jersey now.
Yeah, I can come back from retirement. Look at Tom Brady.
He's about to come play for Miami.
No way.
I could be a. Look, matter of fact, let's see if they hire me as commentator.
46.
My VP might go up there.
He can play good.
We now hear Mickey comparing himself to the great
last year,
Tom Brady.
I'm just saying, if Miami knew his number right now, he's in charge.
Yeah, but I don't think they'd ring his money.
Tom Brady.
Russell Wilson. Russell. He hurt the same.
Miami, yeah, they should. 7-0.
Kings for Brownie. Just calls. Nothing to go with him.
Keep me out.
And Miami's quarterback.
Queen of 5 deuce, 2 clubs.
I don't know what they're supposed to do.
The only player with any club holding here is Alejandro, and it's 8 high, which is also the most equity in this hand right now.
They have the Skylar Thompson kid. Who else do they have?
Yeah, talking about Skylar Thompson.
I know who else do they have.
Mike White. The guy
Oh, Mike White.
He played good actually when he got to play for the Jets the other year. He actually did great. I don't know why he doesn't get it. Good call.
Queen 5 deuce, 2 pair for Free Money. Ace 4 making a wheel. A wheel for Brett. Check, bet, and call.
I got a wheel.
And the wheel is definitely going to win this hand. Nice little pot there for Brett. Little value on the end there, $50. It's probably the most he's getting a call from is $50. Don't envision Free Money calling much more.
Here it's been kind of line. Let's go.
50 in the dark. Alejandro wants more action.
You raise that target.
We had a $10 button straddle. Alejandro has raised to $50 in the dark. Has not looked at any cards and has already raised the maximum amount of 50.
I'll let you know.
Action now to Brownie
About it, then.
with a gross looking hand. Probably going to be folding that one.
Is it somebody look the hand? We have to look the hand.
Oh, I'm looking at mine.
He ruined it,
Right.
bro.
Free money makes the call. 2 5s,
He's fine. He's fine.
a 6, and a suited ace.
Pot.
Put the card in front, please.
And Brett is going to pot it up with aces here. Ace, ace, queen, deuce, 3 spades in his hand. $250 to go now,
Gotta ruin your fun.
says Brett.
You really?
I'm gonna quit, man. It has to be already.
Alejandro makes the call as well.
Yeah, I got motherfuckers text me telling me you're playing.
Hey, that's fine. I don't care.
Whenever you go.
As does free money. And here we go. 3 ways to a flop, $215 a piece. 660 in there before a flop.
Play?
Alejandro asked for more action, and it looks like he's got it.
Come through, man, and have some fun, bro.
King 4 deuce rainbow.
300.
Ace is best.
136. And, bro, I'm not gonna lie. That game that I saw
And
videos.
we're off to the next hand. Brett's going to take this one down. No contest on the flop.
Not always. It's very lined up.
No, I'm here.
What happens on Monday?
You gave here.
What is it?
136. 15 on the crowd.
We start at 3 a.m. The game starts at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah, you can do the time. All the time you come in at 2:30.
I can't. I'm not playing.
I grabbed earlier and it was like you dumped in a fucking bucket of water. I was like, shit.
New dealer coming in as we take a look at the VPIP here. Jim still at the top, and if I was a betting man, I would say that Clutch City is still at the bottom.
I mean, I'm like 30 from here, but no traffic. TCH, I'm like 25.
Quite the difference there. 28% at the bottom is Clutch City's VPIP. Next closest is 49%. You could say his chips are locked down tighter than Fort Knox here.
None of my cards in that box. 0.
Like that on.
I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks. Put me up in that high stand.
Ace, King 4, all hearts here. Brett flopping a flush. Clutch City flopping a jack high flush.
Check.
Check good.
Check. Flop check. Check. Flop check. Checks around. Check.
And Alejandro, Alejandro is also flopped.
Five check. 6 check. 7 check.
I didn't see him in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen over there, the queen high flush, and has been awarded the check mark here. Nobody else can win if this hand does go to showdown. And we've got a $50 bet from Alejandro.
Check.
And looks like Brett was the only caller with the 10 high.
And a call.
$75 bet and a quick call.
That flush.
And Brett's going to see the bad news.
I might have, I just don't recognize the play.
Start working out. I don't know.
I kind of thought you had a boater, like some weird trip or something.
I mean,
I had 10 high. So I had 3 hearts in my hand.
Bam.
In a race. He's the best card in the race.
I didn't really think you had a play.
That's what the case. You want the best card for this race.
I know, but I didn't think I needed it.
10 on the button. How many hands is this for the evening? Hand number 58 of the evening.
No, you did. Feel like you win already.
Alejandro's going to bump it up here with ace jack 8-9 double rooted.
Doing well.
Pretty looking hand. He's going to get 4 callers and work 5 ways to the races here. Ace 7-6 rainbow. Open-ended and a top pair for Alejandro, sitting pretty good. We cannot see Jim's cards, but Alejandro has bet 100.
I'm a small winner. PLO. Small winner.
Runner.
435. 3 raises. 435.
And we're seeing a pot-sized raise here from Jim, whose cards we don't have access to presently. If he's potting it here, he's going to have something like top 2 pair, middle set, something like that. Very, very unlikely that he has top set here. And Alejandro makes the call with his open-ended and top pair of aces. 1,300 in the middle now as the 8 comes on the turn, giving Alejandro top 2 pair, still with the open-ended, as well as the nut flush draw now. Jim checks his option. We've got an all-in, and we've got a call. We've got a set of 7s, exactly what I thought it was, middle set. And an ace on the river is going to give Alejandro the bigger full house. Ace is full of 8s. What an unfortunate run out for Jim and his middle set. And Alejandro did have Jim covered, so he's going to take the remainder of his chips. It's very interesting the way that this game started. Second or third hand, Alejandro loses all of his chips to Jim almost immediately to start the stream. And now seems things have come full circle as Alejandro makes the best hand on the river. And that pot had so many chips in it, it took the dealer 3 times to push them all over there.
That's why I put my money in the middle.
You just had one pair.
And that is a pretty good looking hand for Alejandro on the river there. And that'll build his chip stack up to about 5,700 now.
Rush, table 12, please.
And looks like Jim is going to be reloading here.
Yeah. I had ace king 10.
How much?
1,600 behind.
And Jim is going to come back in for 1,600. And that is a mountain of green chips that Brett has in front of him there. We've got almost 4,000 just in green chips.
1,600.
I need to color up too at some point. Turn on the button.
What's the?
He's got all the bunk.
You need one too?
3 calls, 3 calls, 4 calls, 5 calls, 6 calls.
And 59 hands in, and so far it has been the Brett and Alejandro show here.
Good now?
I can tell you what I have.
7 full, 8 full.
Ace King 10. Rainbow. Set of 10s for Clutch City. And he's checking.
Brett and Jim, you guys are
5 of hearts on the turn. Bringing in a flush draw for Brett's hand now.
6 bet $10. $10, Jim. 4 calls, heads up. Check.
50.
And Brett here putting in the bluff catcher call. Gonna get the bad news. And Clutch City is gonna add a little bit of percentage to his VPIP here. I did say a little bit, up to 31% now.
Live stream's ending, so I gotta finish my VPIP. Stats, man.
You run it up to 7%.
7%. What's my VPIP been, bro? I don't know. Fucking low, huh?
Probably like 3%.
I think mine does be like a 11.
3% VPIP. Huh?
Alejandro, you have the highest raise percentage there. It's got 3%.
VPIP?
Yeah.
What? Are you dead serious? That's sad, bro. Fuck, man.
That is very
All
inaccurate.
night, bro.
31% now after that last hand.
That's good, bro. That's not good. 3% is not good,
In
bro.
the end, it's good because you never lose.
3%.
You only time, enjoy the time.
8 raise
3%? Come on, bro. That's not fun.
9 call.
Kings for Jim.
We never said you were fun, sir.
Well, it's going to be Alejandro putting in the raise here.
1, 2, 260.
Abandoning myself.
260 is the bet, Alejandro. 8 call.
I want to put you on the hold.
Hold on, bro.
Hang on, right here.
Not go. Give us some action back.
9 call.
How often do y'all?
$260 Jim pots it to here with 2 kings, a 4, and a 3. 3 clubs in his hand. Gets a call from Alejandro, Brownie, and free money. And we are off to the races. $840 in the middle before a flop here.
Last 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
I try to sit down and play one too long.
Jack 8-3
I
here.
end up doing like massive ass check raises. I'll be check raising like 8x.
Alejandro with a wrap. Queen
Bro,
at
that's
10
the
at
first
9.
day here.
Take that.
I flopped tricks like Jack by 5. I had,
A
like,
7
5,
to a queen would give Alejandro
7.
straight here.
150. He goes all in for like 800 bucks. He just had a jack. I called him. No, he like jack 9.
12.
Alejandro bet
I think I just put him up.
400.
He's like, if you think I'm bluffing,
Brownie with top 2 pair here
let's
is
go
going
for
to pot it.
840 here.
Yeah.
Raise.
Like normally I would fold if it's very but
Or
that's
make
like
it 20, 40.
no what he looked at.
$2,040 now.
Ace 5 or jack 5.
Alejandro had bet 400, and Brownie potted it,
Ace 3 ball.
making it
I could
$2,040.
just tell that he was trying to pull a move on me.
And we've got a wrap versus top 2 pair here.
Yeah, I raised he called. That's it. So
See
that
what the
wasn't
turn
bad.
card
I guess,
brings.
yeah, there's no jack, jack. I didn't think he had
A
jack.
queen. That's going to give Alejandro the straight. All in, he says.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
And Brownie's got to let it go now. Very, very nice sized pot going Alejandro's way.
Better.
He's going to add 2,600 to a stack there. Now taking the chip lead here in this 5-5 PLO game. 8,300 and some change in his stack now.
How much are these cards with the chicken? They're about $80. Well, you said the shuffle machine played about $1 billion.
Kings for Brett. 1 suit. CD's got a pretty connecting hand. He's not going to play it. Alejandro,
8 raise 50.
imagine that. He's going to raise it to 50.
1 fold. 3 raises to 220.
$220 to go now from Jim with the double-suited queens.
Case ace. Yeah, the ace.
5 call. 8 call.
Let me give you some action. Let's see. Put a 3, queen. 3, 3.
Ace, 10, 9 with 2 diamonds here. And Alejandro with the queen high flush draw, as well as the Broadway draw.
Whose idea was to rack the chips? It was his, huh?
Action checks around to Jim,
I
who
said,
was our
whose idea
pre-flop
was it?
raiser
You,
with the
huh?
2 queens, double suited. Not an ideal flop for his hand.
Who gonna put him back there?
The 9 of hearts now on the turn. 2 pair for free money is going to be the best hand currently with the queen high kicker.
8 bet. 3 bet, 890.
Wow, 890. That's going to be a pot-sized bet here from Jim with just the queens. The only way Jim improves his hand here is if he makes a queen on the river or another 9.
8 fold.
And he does make the better hand fold. He wants to keep those cards.
Showing, bro.
Of course.
Tell him, bro.
That was auto with me. I'm not sure I don't get the fuck out. It should have changed the title to 10-5 behind.
You must have hit a double. The answer they should have home or something.
Definitely get this.
Oh, button spare would be a pretty sweet deal.
5 call. 6 call.
You're in the best spot, ain't you, last hour?
8 call. 9 fold. 2 call. 3 raise 50. 4 call. 5 call. 6 call.
Uh-oh.
Deep tip going up.
Deep hit.
4% now.
4% now. 4%.
3.2%.
You're coming crazy now.
Get the net.
Coming in hot. Coming in hot. All right, deep hit going back.
7-4 deuce on the flop here. 2 diamonds. We've got a flush draw for Alejandro, as well as a wrap. A big wrap for Alejandro here. Free money with top.
300. 2 bets 300.
Excuse me, free money with a mirror.
Pretty fist pulled down.
3 fold. 5 fold.
Got his aces cracked.
8 raises all in.
Cracked the wall.
And a call.
Did he get his aces cracked? Spun the wheel? Yeah.
And Alejandro does have a flush draw,
You didn't have something like that.
as well as a wrap here.
Get it on the camera. Please. Like top set frame.
But we can see that a lot of his outs have been folded. But free money is all in for $830-ish. Action has been completed. We are going to see a river here. The 3 of hearts is going to complete the straight for Alejandro. And the king of diamonds is going to bring in the flush.
Hit it on the river.
Turn the straight.
Good hand.
Come back, run.
Nah.
All right, we got a seat open. Yeah, he flopped the mirror.
I'm done.
Think you gotta go.
I'm taking those seconds though.
They can change seats, right, Colin? Pretty sure.
Seat open on 12. Free money. Is free money coming back or not?
That's all the free money given away today, sir.
Oh man. Who's next up? Seat open on the live stream.
They're all like,
That message brought to you by Clutch City. Thank you, Mickey,
Seat open for Eddie. Lithuanian Eddie.
letting the entire city of Cypress know that we have a seat open.
Six fold. Eight call. Nine call. Okay. Going. Seven player.
7 ways to a flop here. Queen 9-5. Rainbow.
7 check.
Jim flopping 2 pair.
9 bets. 50.
CD is open-ended here. Alejandro with the gut shots. Brownie open-ended with a pair of queens. JG with 2 pair, top 2 pair, queen 9.
Seven check.
And the deuce of clubs on the turn now. Giving a flush draw to CD to go along with his open-ended straight draw.
Check. Three bets, 375.
375 is the bet from Jim with 3 pairs.
5 calls.
A 9, a 5, and a deuce. Catfish made the call.
7 call.
Catfish looking for a 3 or a 7. Double gutted here. CD makes the call with open-ended and a flush draw, the only flush draw in the hand at the moment. And JG here with what is actually the best hand, top 2 pair. Makes the call as well. 5 ways to a turn card here. 5-handed to a turn. Nobody has equity over 29%. And we're going to see the 4 of clubs on the river. And that is going to give the check mark to CD with the jack high flush should this hand go to showdown. And nobody makes a straight. Nobody's hand improves here. CD does make the flush.
Jack high clubs.
And it checks around. CD is going to take this one down. $2,300 in that pot. And the players are taking their time, relinquishing their hands. But we can see here that that is a good hand. $2,300 going CD's way. And that is going to help bring him back from the depths of Stuckville.
Yeah, he's not going
And Alejandro appears to be collecting black chips over there. About $8,000 in black chips alone.
You had queen 9, and you had 3 pairs. Y'all had each other's cards there.
Oh, that scared me now.
Kings for Alejandro. One suit.
Four call.
Good looking 8 or better hand for JG with the ace, tray, deuce, deuce.
Bumping it up to 200.
White elephant.
made him fall. He went out for 50, bro. 200. It was quick.
And the defense was about to hit 5.
Eight call.
$200 3-bet from Catfish here with the 5, 6, 8, 9. Love to see it. Brett coming along with the 6, 7, 8, 9.
6 players.
6 players to a flop here. $200 apiece. We've got $1,200 in the middle already, and the flop comes 10, 10, 6. Alejandro does have a 10 in his hand. Brett has a wrap. And Alejandro has announced a bet of something.
4 calls.
Sounds like he bet 1,200. And that is going to take it down. $200 a piece. That's one of those hands where you just say, dealer, pick me, pick me.
Good.
Super done. Run. I need it.
And the 8 seed is definitely heating up. That is for
All
certain.
the donkeys in the barn, they all got to eat.
Or
Or they won't make it. I don't mean this group. I mean anybody that plays this stupid free.
Jim still holding on strong up there at the top of our VPIP list at 87%. And Mickey is definitely still, he's lost a percent, actually, since the last hand. Down to 30% now, 30% VPIP.
Accurate.
I think he hit 4.
Me?
What do you think? He win. Oh,
Seven
my
call.
God. We got
Not the
trouble.
button. Stevie's
We got
not
in trouble now. Ace, king, let's go. Made it easy.
Aces for Alejandro, no suit. Queen 5, tray, 2 spades, no flush draws available.
7 checks around.
Gutter ball for Jim. 10 of clubs now on the turn.
75.
Catfish has a club draw as well as
We'll be over at
open-ended.
10:30, Mickey.
And Alejandro has the club
10:30.
blocker.
Don't mean we're not gonna keep.
Hello.
5 race 400. 380.
That'll teach him.
Man.
That'll teach him, Preston. Teach him how to respect.
Way I'm supposed to win.
7 call.
Because it's a white elephant.
Because it's
Catfish bumps it up now to 380 with the open-ended and the flush draw.
Can we see the
And
last one?
Alejandro's going to let it go.
Oh. You have close?
And there's a look at our cumulative winnings. Alejandro way up top at 6,700 in the green. Jim at the bottom, 2,200 south of Stuckville.
Got lucky. Should have raised you on that jack. I was on the button. I should raise on the we had the DogHouse Club. Get a folder. I went all in.
When?
That's what I was supposed to do on that last thing you just
Free
pulled.
flop?
On the river right there when you hit the DogHouse Club.
Oh, yeah. You
Press,
can
give me a
push
second.
it up.
I got it, press. Put him up front.
Why you had the block?
Press.
I had the top two like you did. But press it in a wrap.
It's under my foot. I got you in a second.
Y'all all had top two. It's amazing how many people had top two. Fucking Florida had top two. That's amazing.
9 call.
Wouldn't have taken money.
3 call.
You ain't got to be mad at me like that. All there was check.
Right. Scan your card.
I was really
6
full.
fold.
Didn't do it, but I
7
really.
fold.
Keep everybody in the dark.
Just surrendering and leave.
Jack 7-6, 2
Check.
spades on this flop.
Check.
Queen high flush draw for Catfish, 10 high
Bob check.
for Alejandro.
You ready to let him come in, yeah? 25.
Hey, bet 25.
Open ended for JG.
Yeah. 1 fold.
Nobody know what.
2 fold. 4 fold.
Gutter ball for Alejandro, who does bet 25.
Right guy.
No, I did it in the.
Did put right
And
on.
all we're gonna do is move the table.
When does it
10 of
break?
hearts
I don't know. I mean, we'll-
Hey, can
on
you
the turn is going to
We'll
give
check 5
JG the
ask him
nuts.
how long till the thing's over?
I just told you, 10:30.
Checks around, and the spade completes the river,
25.
giving Catfish the check mark. He's going to bet 75.
Folded. We need to play fast so we get as many blinds out of Mickey as possible. Gonna cost you $20 each round.
No more than that. 100.
One, we can get 3 more rounds. And the 5 and the 5. $20 every round.
I played too tight, man, honestly. Today I did oversight. I didn't play PLO in like 2 months. No bullshit.
And see, we'll keep the game here. We'll just change the cards out. We'll film this table, but we'll just bring the cards.
That's what we talking about.
They said we're just gonna, they're just gonna move over there, but
Live
the
stream.
No more live stream this.
No.
Hours is over with.
10:30.
after that.
30 minutes.
But I mean, we can just play over there.
30? Yeah, 30 minutes.
We can just move and play over there.
You don't have to move. Let's say you can just stay at this
We
table.
don't have to move.
No, you're not gonna leave.
But we know we're
If
losing.
you leave, I leave. Didn't follow the action.
Yeah, go look at that.
Follow the action.
I'm leaving, man. I'm such
I had
a
to. I like playing with action. What are you talking about?
You're for 5, Jim.
I'm such an it.
All
I leave when the streaming. That's how you know you're
tight.
You leave when the streaming.
4 call, 5 call, 6 call.
You already told them before they even hit on it?
Done. You can do it around me.
We gave you all that.
We give you a choice. He's not begging.
$45 raise here. We're going to go 5 ways to a flop. We're going to see 10, 6 deuce rainbow.
Your beef will probably go up. I don't know. 3 check, 4 check, 5 check. 6 round.
Flop checks through. Another 10 on the turn. No players with a 10 in their
I'll
hand.
make a good hand. Everyone's gonna fold.
JG does make a club draw, as does Brett. And the ace on the river is going to give Brownie the best hand here
5
with
bet.
aces and 10s.
175.
He's gonna
But
try to
Catfish
character
is going to come out
every
betting
time. Does it
with
to me all over again.
just a pair of 8s.
I like it.
They love it. I tell you who. I tell you who slips on
And
that.
that's going to get through. He's going to take it down. Nice little bluff there by Catfish.
He just can't wait to bust you with.
Alejandro nearing the $10,000 mark in the chip counts.
Call him up, motherfucker, get our money. You know you did?
No, he paid me. He just takes me. First thing he said, yes, don't you pay him. Tomorrow.
Down the button.
He doesn't pay what
He paid me. He paid me.
You're being sarcastic, man.
But you can say no. You just fucking around.
Last time for the
The
fucking.
other day,
I'm gonna get my hood on for that.
the other day, I leave my chip in the table. I go to my car straight and I text Marcus.
Which one you want?
Pick up my chips
Which
in
one do you
30
want?
minutes.
Hey, which one do you want? The black hood or the red hood?
No, he didn't. He's a nice guy.
Excitement and the free roll is picking up on it.
Dude, I should have
chance to get money.
7 call. Alright, guys. Read the hand. Relays 50. 9 re-raise 150.
150 to go now from Brownie with aces. King 9 of diamonds to go along with him. Jacks for Jim.
7 fold.
And Alejandro's going to make the call because why not? He's only sitting on 1,900 big blinds.
Check.
And the flop is going to come 6-4 Trey with 2 hearts.
Set 4.
10 high flush draw for Alejandro as well as top 2 pair.
9 fold.
Give him some chips.
And Alejandro wins yet another pot. Does have the second highest VPIP on the table with 76%. Preceded only by Jim.
Josh can call him.
Oh. 4 call. 5 fold.
Big pop ruin. Big pop ruin.
8 raise 50.
Oh. I'm gonna double up.
50 to go now. Alejandro bumps it up with the ace queen at 7-6. 2 hearts. Clutch City has got a very pretty looking hand. Ace king 9-9 double suited. He just makes the call here. King, Jack, Jack. Jim flops the joint. Jack's full of kings. He's reaching for chips to bet with. $58 he does.
6 fold.
Glad you raised, man. I would have been trouble.
And Jim is going to take down that pot. No contest. Alejandro now over 10,000 in his stack.
Battle Brett.
Or
7 button.
that's like 3 orbits in a row. I had to be reminded. Yeah.
Brett, you nit.
Off the string he's in.
What is this VPIP for real?
I don't know. I didn't see it. It's gotta be like 6 or 7.
It's gotta be really low.
It's gotta be super close.
What's your name on the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, I
10 to go, Preston.
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Got no way. I'm playing super.
Maybe it counts the blind.
I'm playing too tight today, honestly. I'll admit it.
You probably should that in your phone.
30% is the answer.
think he's gonna
Scrolling
say,
right there at the bottom of the screen, 30% VPIP. It has remained at about 30% for the entirety of this stream,
Don't play.
to the best of my knowledge. And hello, beautiful Alejandro, waking up with aces, 1 suit, and a 6 and a 7 to go along with it. 50 to go.
5
Food
fold.
in the beer. That's it.
6 fold. 7 call. 7 raise. I'm sorry. Raise.
Jim 3-betted to 215. Alejandro puts in another raise. We're going to play for 550 now. Brownie with the 4-4-5-7 single suit. Seems like he's actually contemplating.
9 call.
And he does make the call. $550. Jim makes the call as well. And Alejandro is in a pretty good spot here so far. 9-5-4. Brownie is going to flop bottom set. Alejandro flops open-ended, backdoor flush draw.
Raises all in.
Brownie ships it.
I'm just being honest. What did I do wrong?
Alejandro bets 1,700.
No, I was first. Check though, because you didn't have to.
Took it. That's what you supposed to do.
Brownie has ripped all of his remaining chips into the middle.
Maybe someone called.
25.40. Brownie is all in for $2,540. And Jim has put the rest of his chips in the middle as well. He has less than both of the other contenders. Jim here with just a single pair. No real update. He does have backdoor spades, but those are no good. Alejandro's got those covered. Brownie is in a very good spot.
1920, I believe.
For a little bit more than a double up.
15, 18, 19, 20.
Before I came here, then 2 more went out.
How'd you get the yellow?
All right, no more action.
You bought him?
Yeah. I'll beat you.
Every year.
It's not going in there.
Oh, an 8 immediately for Alejandro, making the straight.
What a run.
And a spade on the river for the nut flush.
Oh, yeah.
Alejandro is going to scoop this entire pot. 7,500 in there. We've got a new hand of the night, folks. The double elimination from Alejandro. Flops open-ended, turns the nut straight, rivers the nut flush. All the chips going to seat 8. Alejandro now has almost $15,000 in his stack.
What are you mad at?
Nobody. What you fucking look at me?
Wow.
Gets it all in. Open in.
Gets it all in pretty bad shape with just open-ended and a pair of aces. Turns the nuts, rivers the super nuts. Wow. What a hand for Alejandro there. Who now has over $14,500, almost $15,000 in his stack here in this 5-5 PLO game. Look at that mountain of chips there. Just a pile.
Oh my God, that's $20. That's so bad.
Look, he can't even, how's he going to scan his card?
That's what I must have.
He's playing seat 9 and seat 8 now.
I can buy it.
Oh!
So exciting, bro. It's like
Cynical, 850.
Alejandro raises to 50, wasting no time getting right back in the action.
Alejandro do it. Alejandro move.
Especially now the gym.
Queen 9-4, 2 hearts here. CD flopping a pair and a gutter with a flush draw. Not a terrible flop if you're CD right now.
What happened?
No action.
5.
We don't like you.
One of those two.
No good.
No good?
You're hiding the 4 under
Oh, I
there.
thought he was giving me the chip.
You're hiding the 4 under there.
4, no.
What happened?
Dude, I had
Don't
4.
lie.
Anybody if y'all want food and get some clothes and like
Yeah.
6
Yeah,
sauce
I
over
want
there.
them.
Alright, I'll put them back here.
I'm playing.
They're gonna play after the stream too.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
just
he's
get
gonna fail out
the
when it's
chicken
in
strips.
the rest
They
of
know
it.
what you're talking about, because everybody gets it. Just say the chicken strips tossed in that the honey garlic sauce, and then the mac and cheese was good as another night.
Hey, Brownie,
It was
it
like,
depends on if you need his action in the game or not.
and the fries are good.
No, I'm done with the stream.
On the button.
But that shit is actually like
Stream's over, I'm out.
pretty face.
Won't say why.
Wouldn't I just...
I'm feeling my defense too high. I gotta lower it.
Still calm. They call it.
Watch this, ready? Just for the stat.
5 rate.
For the stat. People are scouting me.
You make it. 6 folds. 7 folds.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, 50. 10 players. 10 folds.
my God. We have it. You want to match the stack?
Is there? Okay.
You want to make my taxes?
And 9.
7 check, 8 check. 5 bets 100. 8 fold.
Scan your cards? Seriously?
8 fold.
Yeah, put here.
I feel like 14.
Yeah.
How much you buying? How much are you in for?
155. I brought money from hand. What's that, bro? Oh my God.
I'm just curious. I'm not.
That's the wrong question.
I can tell you how much you
You only
did
have
for
to-
yesterday.
You only can say the comment.
I'll tell you that. He lost that whole whatever he got in front of him. That's what he lost yesterday.
Hey, this is play money anyway. People at home don't know that.
You want now? Whatever he lost.
Yeah,
he
this
lost
is a
yesterday.
tournament.
He lost it yesterday. He raises 50.
Is the live stream almost over?
I'm
ready to go, man.
I got
It's okay.
Trust me.
Yes.
What's the difference between him leaving and him sitting here?
He didn't want to accidentally. He didn't want to accidentally get mixed up in hate.
Check, 5 check.
Did anyone need anything?
8 bets 125.
Your person?
That's a doghouse.
It's that Beyonce. Seems over.
No, we're still going. Come back in. Take it. You have it there and see if you want. Or you can go somewhere. Oh, okay. How much money? 5,000? Brownie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
C9 brownies coming back in for 5,000. We go to
You gotta get rid of something.
Hey, what's the plastic?
Oh, wait.
Don't worry.
Tell me button.
Got 5,000.
How old are you, bro?
5 raise.
19.
Are you seriously 19? You're mine.
I don't know.
6 fold.
I wish I could. Want to fuck together or go get a room? I'm in.
We have a hotel behind.
Where? Where is it at? Walk out the back door right here. You're there.
Think you have to La Quinta.
No
La
Diddy. No,
Quinta.
hey, no
La
Diddy.
Quinta.
Y'all can get a room.
Quinta.
Y'all can get a
Call.
room,
All right.
man. Old and young.
I only asked. That's all I asked for. I asked for
Yeah,
quad.
be enjoying, right?
4 players.
Yeah, we gotta let people home
So
see
what
the
I
quad. Boom. Fuck. No quad. Check.
Check. 5 bet 100.
So what I have to have?
So, hold.
That a hate.
Yeah, 8 raise.
And the bet 2,000.
Oh, you had quad? No.
No. I got a rock. Pay 19.
Oh, yeah, I figured you had the straight on the turn. Yeah.
And the best?
Yeah, 5 or 9 9.
Gosh. No, I just kidding. I had it.
He's sticking it deep in your short term.
That's what.
Deep in your chota.
And wouldn't you know it, Alejandro takes down another pot. Cumulative winnings. He is way up at the top. He is almost a $12,000 winner at this point in the game.
Running good, huh?
PRO.
No, but he's in for a lot of money too. I saw him add on 2,000.
Like 3?
No, more.
No.
He added on. I remember he added on. He bought him for 15, lost. Reloaded for 15, and then added. He's in for 5,000.
33.
It's on camera. You can go back and look.
Look,
I'm gonna
lost 15.
quote and everything.
Lost 15.
I thought, how much you in for? How many hands are you in for? That's a real question.
Yeah, and then you added on 2,000.
Stop call.
No?
Hand number 75 of the evening.
I said, how many hands are you in for?
Is there a commentator?
7 calls.
Yeah, he's the
They're in
commentator.
there. They're in there.
Yeah, I wanna.
You can make it one.
Oh, God.
Nah.
Alejandro's going to bump it
I
up
know
to
what I'm doing.
$50. Ace King is 7-6 with 2 clubs.
5 calls.
Brownie
6,
3 betting
7,
to 200 with the
8
kings,
calls.
double
Three-way
suited kings.
draw.
Catfish makes a call,
Please,
as
stream,
does
stream.
Alejandro. And the flop's going to come deuce, deuce, deuce.
more
Brownie
minutes.
flops them
Yeah,
all
20 more
dead.
minutes.
The only player with
Good check.
a pair in their hand.
Play like a Marcus.
Brownie earning the check mark
600.
immediately here.
5 calls.
Going to bet 600. Both players probably just going to fold. And Brownie's going to take down this pot and add about $400 to his
He
stack.
made the raise. I was gonna call the 50, but not
Kick
the.
him out.
Tell them about the
Find some rest. Throw for the stream.
Here's making a big one.
The biggest blind.
Oh my God. Where is it?
I call.
Too yellow.
2002.
Too yellow though. I don't like the color.
Super high. Good.
I'll take it.
Come
I
and
just
get
get
it.
it- can I
Come
just
and
get
get
up
it.
and
Try
run
to put
away?
it in the middle.
Get up and run
Good
away.
luck.
Leave
Good
all
luck
the
with
phone
that.
there.
Yeah, good luck.
Not the thing.
Tell them about it. Buffalo. Mickey P, you're in for $5 in the call.
Where's my 5?
In your stack. Supposed to be in the pot.
Man, he wants us to bankroll on his blind.
6 hole. 7 hole.
Mickey's going to fold for $5. If you can imagine that.
Green call. 9 call. Call. Check.
Do it.
Full vote.
All right, quad.
4 ways to a flop here. Jack 10-6 rainbow.
Check.
2 pair for JG.
Fold.
And $50 bet is probably going to be enough to take it down.
They don't know.
Still reeling over that hand from earlier where Alejandro makes nuts on the turn, super nuts on the river, thrusting him way up in the winner's bracket, sitting on almost $15,000 now.
Really just here to see his face on the screen.
I know this time. That of a crowd.
Really not.
Some people just see it off with any player.
And Mickey is going to
Dog, that's it.
fold.
Yeah. That's it, man.
You're in for 5.
You know,
Can't believe it.
everybody's gonna fold.
7 hole. 8 raises 30.
$30 to go now from Alejandro.
Losing, man.
5 calls.
One time.
Winning.
Sorry. 4 calls and 5 calls.
One time and out. Good.
Losing a little bit though. It's not that bad.
160 in there. 5 ways to a flop here. It's going to come 9-8-6 with 2 hearts. No player with 2 hearts in their hand. 10-7 is going to be the nuts in JG's hand here. He also has the redraw to the bigger nuts.
One bet's 1
He's going to pot it.
5 raises 400.
Catfish is
Eight
going to
to 9
bump it up to
gold.
$400 with a set of 9s here. And JG's just going to get it all in for about $55 more.
Twice? I run twice.
2 times, I hear.
Ready?
Catfish looking to pair the board. That's not going to do it. That's going to give JG the bigger nuts. And that's not going to do it for Catfish either. First run is going to go to JG. Locked up half already. And quad 9s now on the second run for Catfish. They are going to chop this pot up. Each player is going to win about $50. Great spot for JG to finally get his chips in the middle here. Trying to get a full double. Ends up just chomping.
Straddle.
Button.
At least a straddle.
You're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, get it. $10 at a time.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a little looser this hand. I want the extra $10. I want the 10 free bucks.
Then dead money.
Yeah.
Button.
For some reason, Mickey continues to straddle here.
Yeah, you beat me. You beat me.
I'm not sure why,
Yeah.
because he knows he's never going to play a hand.
It was for like $100. But
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. Do you have any memories of beating me?
I don't.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
On the button.
You probably got super lucky.
I do.
I have a lot of memories of taking your chips. No, I do remember. You got it.
CD going to start us off with a call with the Jack 9-9 deuce. 3 diamonds. Alejandro once again raising it up. Alejandro is at the top of the list when it comes to pre-flop raises.
Oh, fuck shit.
I'm in there
now.
I'm in there now. If it comes 5 high, you're in trouble. 5 high.
Mickey makes the call here. King 10 tray. 2 diamonds. CD with a straight flush draw. Open-ended for Alejandro, but Brett is going to come out betting here. 125 with the blocker. All he's got in his hand here is the nut flush blocker. The 5 of clubs on the turn. CD has a 75% equity in this hand with nothing more than his straight flush draw. Pair of 9s. Pair of 9s is actually the best hand here. And don't pay attention to what that river card is there. The river card is the ace of spades. It is not the 7 of diamonds. It is the ace of spades, which gives the best hand here to Alejandro as he has made Broadway, which is the Stone Cold Nuts. Both players going to fold, and Alejandro's going to take this one down.
I don't want the none.
Just to clarify, that river card was the ace of spades, not the 7 of diamonds. It did give Alejandro Broadway. And there's another look at our chip counts. Alejandro continues to add to that total, 15,000 and counting. If there was a big pot tonight, the odds are that Alejandro was involved in it. We did see Brett on the receiving end of the first big pot of the evening, winning almost $8,000 with just 2 pair. Got 2 pair and open-ended all in on the flop, and his 2 pair held up against a wrap earlier, and that is where Brett's current net worth on the table came from.
7 call. 8 says he has to call.
After that hand we saw a while ago, Alejandro winning
5 players.
almost $8,000 in one hand, has since overshadowed. We're going to see a flop of ace, king, 7 with 2 clubs here.
9-6.
CD with the 10 high flush draw. Alejandro with the 8 high flush draw. And JG with middle set here, potting it for 250. Alejandro taking a peek to see how much JG's playing behind, which is not much. JG has nearly committed himself to this pot here. He is playing about $150-ish behind. The 3 of diamonds on the turn now.
Call. 150. Yeah.
And we have an all-in to call. It was 150 that JG had behind. Alejandro made the call with his flush draw and pair of trays. And that is not going to be enough for Alejandro to take the lead. Set of kings is going to be good for JG, and he's going to get a much patiently waited for double up here. JG playing very patiently tonight, waiting for good spots, finding the right ones to get it in, and that was one of them right there.
It wasn't his. Trying to get to him. They came in.
How much time more do we have?
Mickey, if you're that difficult, just leave.
Go to the rest. Go to the rest.
I'm just joking, man.
What's
Go
the
to the
difference
rest
you
of
leaving
20
and
minutes.
fucking sitting here playing? That damn thing.
We do have just about 10 minutes left in the stream tonight. We are so far 80 hands in for the evening, and there has been plenty of action. But it's not over yet. JG coming off a full double, wakes up with aces, double suited aces here. He's just going to call and hope somebody else is going to bump it up here.
Play Tuesday stream, Friday stream.
Mickey.
7 calls. Option, Alejandro.
Sponsored by Clutch City.
Alejandro going to bump it up with the 8-8-6-5. JG got exactly what he wanted. He is going to pot it to $220, I hear.
220.
The pre-flop equivalent check raise here. Alejandro makes the call. Brownie makes the call as well.
All right, let me get another beer.
And we're going to be
Third,
3
Mr. Quill,
ways to a
please.
flop here. 510 in the middle. Excuse me, 680 in the middle. And the flop's going to come 8-7-6 with 2 clubs. Nut flush draw for JG.
You put me on the list.
Top set for Alejandro
$8,
with open-ended. Alejandro is a 56% favorite to win this hand here. Heads up now, 68%. JG's made the call with the nut flush draw.
That's how she likes it. That's what she said. Hard and fast.
Right.
Get that right, Preston.
Be quiet last time.
820. Plus or one? Rip it. 820.
And JG is all in for $820. Alejandro put in the chips for the call.
You got it.
And I'm not sure if we agreed on once or twice here.
Turn.
5 of clubs. And the 10 of diamonds. JG's going to get the full double with the nut flush here. I was just saying he has been waiting for spots patiently, finding good spots to get his money in where he has a lot of equity. And that is a prime example of it right there. Gets it in with the nut flush draw against top set. Finds the flush immediately on the turn and secures the full double up. He's now sitting at $2,300. I think that's the biggest his stack's been all night. JG waiting patiently, finding the good spots. Just goes to show that patience will eventually pay off, as it does here towards the end of this stream. Waking up with another beautiful hand is JG, ace, king, queen, 10. One suit.
fold.
What?
I know, right? I was shocked too. What? Mickey folded the best hand? Crazy.
I want to see CD's defib.
Definitely higher than yours. 9 bet.
Barely. It's gotta be barely higher than mine.
A little bit more.
Yeah. CD is a super nit too, man.
6 ways to a flop here. It's going to come ace, king, 8. JG is going to flop top 2 pair with a gutter.
He's a super nit, man.
Flush draw for Brett with a gutter to Broadway.
1 call. 4 folds, 5 folds.
Making shit up. Doesn't bother me at all.
2 pair for Alejandro,
Trying
bets
to play hands at
$50.
least.
If I'm calling you a nit, you're
Gets
doing
a call
something
from
right.
the better hand of
Okay.
JG.
Means you're playing tight and making money.
And the meaningless deuce of clubs on the river is going to give the check mark to JG, who checks it over to Alejandro. Gets checked back, and JG's going to win another pot. 3 pots in a row going to seat 1.
Bro? They're roasting me, bro. They're roasting me. I haven't played PLO in 2 months, bro. I'm playing
I was
tonight.
worried.
JT, he's got a 3% VPIP, bro.
This is what?
They're roasting me today.
29. We were thinking it was more like less than.
JT, he's got a 3% VPIP, bro.
Alright, less.
Sit on the button.
They're roasting me today, dog.
It's actually a lot higher than y'all think. I just thought of back.
What is it, brother?
The only reason it's higher than what everybody thinks is because every time he gets the button, he straddles.
Must not be calculated.
That's the only reason Mickey's VPIP
Gotta be counted.
is higher than the 3% that everybody thinks that it should be, is because he takes the opportunity to straddle. Straddling does add to that voluntarily put in pot percentage.
He got past the flop.
Poor call.
I mean, he wanted to his credit.
I missed the big one, though, bro. I would have settled or set him in the big one.
What, when he had kings and folded 3 to $5?
There we go. Increasing the VPIP is Mickey making the call with Queen, Jack, 10-10. Pretty looking PLO hand.
Over the $5.
Now you're gonna win.
Ace, 9-6 with 2 spades on this flop.
You'll understand.
We've got JG with an open-ended
6.
straight draw. Brownie with
6 fold.
A lot of years.
a pair of aces and the blocker to the nut flush draw. Top 2 pair for Catfish here. He's going to make the $60 bet. Get called by Brownie and JG.
Oh, look at this. Oh my God.
5 of hearts is going to come on the turn. Now bringing in JG, the nut flush draw, to go along with his straight. And JG is going to pot it. $250 now.
12, service, please.
Catfish here with Amir. Ace, 9-6 is 3 pairs. He's going to be looking for the board to pair on the river. And it does, but not in the way that he would want.
I haven't seen it there.
It's going to be the 5. And JG is awarded the check mark. If we go to showdown, he will be the winner.
Well,
But Catfish firing out big.
no, the game's not going to end. The live stream.
The live stream has
750 here from Catfish
But we're going to keep playing.
with just 2 pair. What a bet here from Catfish. Flops Amir, comes running 5s, does pair the board. But he's going to take the image of a set here, as flopping Amir is played very similarly to flopping a set. And he's going to get JG to fold the best hand. That's a $1,500 pot.
10 on the button.
Very impressive bluff there by the Catfish. Turn in the worst hand into a $420 win.
Cowboy. I like that T-shirt, man.
I don't even know. I don't even watch it. How long do they watch it? You can
Go there tomorrow.
Oh, you can offer me that later?
Yeah.
Then you go president.
Mickey can't wait to fold so badly that he's folded out of turn 3 times. That's how badly Mickey wanted to fold.
I'll watch like you, man. Like get some footage of yourself or whatever.
We're going to go 4 ways to a flop here. Jack 5-4, all clubs on the flop. Open-ended for Catfish. Top set of jacks for CD.
Avoid the rule.
JG blocking quads for CD. But it doesn't look like anybody's going to continue in the hand, and this $45 bet is going to take down this pot.
You bet that.
I didn't show you the other two.
I can't be grabbing this fucking card.
They were small.
All right, gentlemen, this will be the last hand of the live stream. After this thing, City, we will be playing some normal PLO games.
We got to move back to the regular table.
We'll just stay here, probably.
Just wondering if we ought to, in terms of trying to get more people. I'm wondering if they're going to look over here and not come.
They're gonna be scared.
We're going to see Alejandro at the table and the Philadelphia coming. You impressed him?
All right, you heard the man, y'all. This is going to be the last hand of the evening for this live stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a great time here this evening at the Doghouse.
Is Mickey P going to play the last hand?
He will.
Do want to remind y'all about our upcoming events.
I'll be here next Tuesday if y'all are
The
here.
Alpha Dog No Limit Hold'em $100,000 guaranteed prize pool. That is coming up at the end of this month. Going to start Wednesday, September 25th.
I only play.
$100,000 is guaranteed. We're going to have 2 flights per day beginning Wednesday, 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. 2 flights a day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There's going to be a turbo flight Saturday evening as well as Sunday morning at 9 a.m. The day 2 restart will commence at 2 p.m. on Sunday the 29th.
See y'all next Tuesday if they run.
I'll be here.
40 more in.
Huh?
40 more in.
We'll go back to the hand here. We've got something developing here.
What?
They're both going to put $40 more in and just run it out here. They have decided before any cards have came out.
That 40 and home. Turn. Check.
And aces are going to hold up, and Brett's going to take down the last pot of the evening.
Pretty good point.
Well, guys, it was fun.
And that is going to do it for this stream, guys. We will take one more look at the results of this live stream real quick with the last remaining players. Just look at our chip count scrolling at the bottom of the screen here. Alejandro ending the evening with about almost $14,000. Yeah, Alejandro was definitely the big winner of the evening. Brett right behind him there with about half that much, 6.2. Brownie going to be ending the evening with 5,000. CD making a bit of a comeback, going to be ending the game with 3,300. Catfish 2,500. JG waiting patiently all night to hit a few hands at the end, going to be leaving with 2,100. And Clutch City
All right, guys, thank you for coming in.
is somehow a loser at this game. And 77% VPIP from Alejandro there. He finished with the highest. Clutch City maintaining 28% VPIP throughout that entire game. And lastly, here's a look at the cumulative winnings. Alejandro winning over $10,000 this evening. Brett winning about $4,000. JG won about $500, waiting patiently all night. Found some good spots at the end there to make a big comeback and leave $500 winner. CD is going to leave the game $50 loser. Clutch City going to be leaving the game $140 loser. And Catfish is about 1,600 south of Stuckville for the evening. And that is going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate everybody watching along with us tonight. Don't forget, the end of this month, we are going to be starting the Alpha Dog No Limit Hold'em tournament that features $100,000 in guaranteed prize pool money. $300 buy-in. If that's too much for you, we do run free roll satellites every single night, every day. 2 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. daily here at the Doghouse. You can win your way into this tournament for as little as $0. Come see us, guys. The worst that can happen is you lose no money. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you.